Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Midnight Stories. I noticed there aren't many romance club walkthrough on YouTube, so I thought I would like to try something like this. I myself really enjoy reading romance club stories as well as watching vloggers that walk through and falling asleep to these videos, so I hope you would love this. If you like the format, let me know. I will try to improve the video quality in the future, and if that's something you're interested in, you can just comment it. So I want to start with Heaven's Secret REQUiEM, and I'm sorry for my English because I'm not a native speaker, but anyway, I want to try this and I hope you will love this. Okay, so I would be Lane as well as in the stories, and I also will use guidance, so my story will be good. Of course, you will know about this later. Your story is about to begin. Choose your appearance. Slim, athletic. Well, in the last my story I was this probably. I will choose athletic because I love her body. I don't know. What do you think, guys? These or those? Okay, let's choose her. And now it's Diamond Rouge, so yep, we'll choose something better. Of course, get everything. Change selection. I want to. Yes. I want to choose her haircut. Will she be with the blonde hair? But no, I'm not sure. With dark hair? No, it's her. Yeah. Continue. Well, so I know about chiefs and hold on, guys. Let me just think about it. Okay, let's choose male of interests. Access to romantic relationship with male characters and friendship with female. Okay, I prefer, of course, but I'm not sure if I can read it anyway. Set your preference for hints. If hints are enabled, an icon will appear next to your. Yes, I would like enable. Yes, begin the story. So I love this story for many reasons. Okay. The blood, the book. Wow. I'm not sure if I remember this, but it's interesting, you know? And I love this dance. I think I miss it, really. Oh my gosh. Is it available on YouTube? Like, should I cut this or no? Wow. It's so terrible. Oh my gosh. Okay, bro. Kind of weird. Episode 1. Open your eyes. Heaven's Secret carries on. Continue your story in your favorite universe. After Judgment Day, the world fell. Humanity was left without the protection of heaven. However, those accustomed to hardship and strife continue to fight. 3 years ago, the Siberia military research base, known for its secret research, collapsed underground for reasons unknown. Among the most important research was translating the Book of the Apocalypse. This relic of the immortals contained the power to save humanity. At the site of the collapse, a rift opened, and from it came demons spawn that invaded the world to eradicate all life. A new problem also arose in the form of the infected, people who became mutated and lost their minds, turning into dangerous monsters. Recently, an allied task force was sent to the rift under orders from the new military science-based Adam, based on Oxford. It's actually Adam, but it's more, for me, useful and reasonable to use Adam. Their mission was to investigate the cause of the disaster and find the Book of the Apocalypse in the snowy ruins. Okay, hold on guys. The squad went to the city of REQUiEM, the last outpost of humanity located in remote Siberia at the ends of the earth. But destiny had more in store for them, and they found more than just a book. They found the girl, right? It was cold, lonely, and terrifying. The fog was endless, and darkness followed everywhere it touched. It trailed after me, wanting to drag me underground with it. Was I a part of it, or its beginning, its end? Something flashed ahead. A warm glow broke through the fog, and an angel reached out to me. He's so cute. I don't know, I love him. Oh, I reached out as well. The angel's palm was so icy. Okay. Who are you? Who are you? This question echoed within me. My head began to pound so much that my legs buckled. Then an inhuman scream split the sky as several shadows rushed toward us. Run! The stranger flew upward on buzzing wings and shielded me from danger. Frozen in place, I watched the way he moved, spellbound. Wings slashed through the air as though the feathers were made of steel. His moonlit silhouette danced across the sky, deftly dealing with the shadows. I needed to run, but it was too late. A large raven flew out of nowhere and collapsed nearby, shrouded in darkness. The dancing shadows dissipated as something opened its wings. What? Oh my gosh, abomination. The suffering cries of house sinners merged into the creature's scream. It was wild and chilling to the bone. The creature's back wings sank into the darkness so naturally, as if created by it. And its body emitted such a grave call that the very air around it froze. These choices will affect the course of the story. Some choices alter the story slightly, while others lead to big changes. Approach the creature. On stiff legs, I slowly approached the abomination. Though I felt the horned creature's thirst for my blood, it made no move to attack. Despite the fear in my heart, I reached out to it. A shot rang out. The demon fell down with a death rattle. The clothed fingers twitched until a dark puddle pooled beneath them. This isn't a dream, this is real. I turn around. Girl, run away. Oh my gosh. Wow, it's so beautiful actually. Oh, okay. You save us? Thank you. The man studied me instantly. I don't understand. It didn't attack you. Are you in church? The abomination didn't attack when you approached. The man will remember this. I don't know. The stranger had jet black hair and wore a heavy frown. He stood in front of everyone else, their faces obscured by snow and night. I noticed a familiar symbol on the man's clothes. It belonged to the Siberia base military. We studied each other, our bodies still. All that moved were starry strands of hair that fluttered in the icy wind. Suddenly he raised his arm, and the cold butt of his gun struck my temple. Everything went dark. Okay. Bro is not that polite as we thought. I like this music, I don't know, it's so calm. Abruptly I opened my eyes and breathed deep. It felt like all the air had been sucked out of my lungs. Oh. Well, what do you like? It doesn't matter actually. I don't like this skirt. This one? This one looks good. No, I don't like this. Actually, I love this style with lane because it's really good. Okay, let's choose this. So we are rich now. Yes. Should I choose a different outfit? No, I don't like this. Okay, thank you. Haircut. Oh, this is my favorite one. Graceful wave. Okay. I lay on my side facing the back of a familiar sofa covered by a light blanket. Everything around me was unfamiliar, alien, and lifeless. Damn it! My head is killing me. I remembered how I walked to a strange rift surrounded by even stranger creatures. The memories, fragmented though they were, caused a search of all the ones. The corridors of a military research base bathed in green lights, where endless hours were spent reading books. It felt like the past was locked behind the doors. And when I reached out to peer inside, they moved away from me. I need to find out what happened. But it wasn't just the past that worried me. Even in the present, something felt wrong with me. It was so something was taken from me, pieces of my mind that made me. In my soul was an endless wasteland, where shallow waters reflected a gloomy sky, and I stood alone in its center, surrounded by loneliness, cold, and fear. The memory of the dead creature flashed before my eyes, and I shuddered. What the hell is going on here? I examined myself. Someone changed my clothes. My body ached, but I still managed to turn over. Man, my man actually. I went still. The man who saved me from the rift sat in front of me. Okay. The immortals are working alongside us now? He was still like a perfect sculpture. Only the movement of his chest as he breathed proved that he wasn't one. Eyes closed, the stranger dozed. Should I run away? Where would I go? No, there is no need to rush. I didn't notice any weapons on him, but my anxiety rose regardless. Maybe he doesn't see me as a threat. To him, I'm completely harmless. He saved me, right? I need to find out what's going on. Look at him. The stranger sat in a chair with his legs crossed and arms folded across his chest. His head was tilted slightly to the side, and blonde locks fell over his high forehead. A serene face with chiseled, aristocratic features, a beautiful, godlike statue. His appearance inspired awe and reverence, but also something incomprehensible, an unpleasant feeling that led to confusion. I wanted to get a rise out of that perfect face, to evoke the emotion in it, to find human warmth in its features. How many have been killed by this incredible beauty, unable to achieve even a fleeting glance from him? It felt unreal, like if you were to reach out and touch him, his image would surely dissipate, dissolve in an ephemeral haze. No wonder he's an angel. I presumed you would turn away and was silent as a courtesy. But how long do you intend to stare at me? You drew the man's attention to you. He will remember this. He fixed his piercing gaze on me. Surprised, it didn't immediately respond. Are you the one who changed my clothes? My own voice sounded dry and lifeless to me. I didn't recognize it. He looked at me as if I asked something absurd. No. Then who? Anna. There was silence. Surprised by his casual tone, I looked around cautiously, not knowing what to expect. Where am I? In one of REQUiEM's estates. And who are you? Ignoring the question, he stood from the chair and stretched his shoulders. The fabric stretched across his chest, clinging to his defined muscles. The man not only had a perfect face but a toned, athletic figure as well. Thank you for saving me. You're welcome. It was necessary. Sometimes you immediately dislike someone upon meeting them, but at the same time something about them captivates your attention. It doesn't matter if it's animosity, attraction, or a desire for friendship. You just want to capture their interest. They change and feel the atmosphere when they enter a room, and you realize that you will never forget the look of them again. The special aura. The man went to the window and pulled back the curtain, peering out into the horizon. I swallowed. How are you feeling? I don't know. I can't even remember how I ended up there. He towered over me, looking down with a bored expression. All right, get up. I'll take you to General. Why? He will answer your questions. He didn't tell us his name, but I know his name anyway. But we went to a building nearby. It was snowing, and the only thing I could see was the stranger's back as he walked in front of me. The general's office was located on the second floor. The air inside was cold. Thank you, kind. Oh, my companion gave me the barest nod and left, closing the door behind him. I stood still in the middle of the room. The man who sat before me was the same one that struck me with the gun. As soon as I saw him, my temple throbbed painfully. I'm Dmitri. Will you sit down? My ears rang from tension. I sat down on a chair and covered the trembling hand with the other. Don't be afraid, we mean you no harm. You hit me? Why? I wouldn't have resisted. There was little time. I couldn't risk revealing for you our location. Revealing it to me? I'm just a lab assistant. He leaned back in his chair and tiredly massaged the bridge of his nose. "Just a lab assistant." He pulled my badge out of his pocket and carelessly threw it on the desk toward me. "Damn, I didn't take it off." "Since when did assistants have passes to a closed secret facility, Miss Lane?" "Adaptability, okay. With high adaptability, you will be able to explore more places and hold your ground against enemies." Wow, okay. We're going through this. I can't disclose that. You're also from the Siberia base, right? So you should understand. Okay, how did you end up the rift? I don't know. I don't remember, or I can't remember. I was still at the base, working late into the night as usual, and the next thing I know, I'm at the rift. You'd better just tell me the truth. So far, none of your testimony rings true. The tension in my chest grew and tightened into a knot. What is he getting at? Ask the other survivors, why don't you? I'm not lying. Dmitri looked at me with long, heavy gaze. Then he sighed and tiredly closed his eyes. His tone grew darker. What he said next was difficult for him to say. Everyone else is dead. They were buried under the rubble, as were you. What? Lane, you were listed as killed in an accident in Siberia until yesterday, that's it. The base you worked at collapsed underground 3 years ago. Yeah, that's difficult to accept. He started me instantly again. His scrutiny pierced and scarred my consciousness, searching for any confirmation of his suspicions. I wanted to turn away but resisted the urge. So who are you, Lane? I don't understand. My nails dug into my palm as I clenched my fist. And if you really were at that base, where did you vanish for 3 years, and how were you able to survive? I stared off into space while thoughts rushed through my head at a frantic pace. A shiver ran down my spine. My head was a mess. I wasn't myself, and the world around me no longer felt familiar. Okay, this is interesting because at the last time I chose God's voice and now we will choose Devil's Whisper. So yep. Path of God's voice sees you trying to achieve your goals by relying on humanity's better qualities and positive feelings. Path of the Devil's Whisper lets you achieve your goals in cunning ways by channeling darkness. Okay. Am I still me? The same Lane I remember being? I feel like I'm not. I think I'm losing my mind. There was an emptiness inside of me and the air felt thin. I listened to the quiet hissing within me. It was as though my very blood was whispering something. But I didn't want to listen, and yet, what does all this mean? How could I forget 3 years? He could be lying. The general scribbled something down on a piece of paper, then slammed the folder shut before throwing it to the edge of the desk. My instincts screamed at me in warning, but I didn't hear it. Though I tried to calm the tension rising within me, my panicking brain demanded action. I snatched an empty glass and broke it on the desk. Then I held it before me, the sharp edges pointed forward. Dmitri remained still. Even relaxed and unarmed, he cut an impressive figure, one far more dangerous than mine. You aren't making any sense. I will only trust someone I personally know. Now, let me out. I want to return to base. We have constructed a memorial for all those killed in Siberia in the city cemetery. You can go and see for yourself later. Suddenly he stood and grabbed my hand. Calm down. I'm not sure. Well, I want you to show this, but I don't like Dmitri like I like Kain. Anyway, let's try to pull away. With gritted teeth, I tried to break free. Dmitri did not budge, and his grip only tightened. I told you everything is fine. Let go of the glass. Let go of me first. The chair creaked as he bent down. We were very close. His light eyes stared me down, calm and confident. There wasn't a hint of anger or aggression in them, only quiet anticipation. I pushed at him over and over again, trying to escape, but he didn't budge. He was taller and stronger than me. Giving up, I braced my hand on his chest, not letting him close the distance between us. The general's office filled with the melancholic howling of the blizzard outside. Did Anna not give you warm clothes? Your hand is very cold. I felt his muscles tense under my fingertips. Suddenly touching him felt quite inappropriate. I quickly pulled my hand back and averted my eyes. A few stray strands of hair fell across my face. I still have a lot of work to do. To be honest, you popped up out of nowhere. If only the world was still normal. Though even then, the conversation would not have been pleasant anyway. Oh my gosh, no. I went still, feeling a cold tear roll down my cheek. Why? Why am I crying? What? With a gentle touch, he carefully brushed a strand of hair out my face. I raised my head and met his surprised gaze. Dmitri will remember the expression on your face for a long time. I felt no pain, no fear, no horror, but the tears kept flowing as though my soul had died, and only my body could remember what it was to be human. Tears streamed down my cheeks, and the cold tracks chilled my skin. I'm only a bit worried. What am I crying for? There was a subtle undercurrent of concern in his voice. What's the matter? Oh, Lane. Slowly, I unclenched my fingers. Unclenched, okay. And the glass fell to the floor with a clink. I wiped my face with my free hand. There were no survivors at the base, but we were able to create a new base in Oxford to replace Siberia. My squad is from there. There you can find information about your family and loved ones. We will be going back there today. You'll be coming with us. Having finally come to my senses, I knew I had to act. One more thing. Back at the rift, the abomination did not attack you. Why? I don't know. I don't know what sort of creature that was or why I'm still alive. And I don't remember anything at all. Can I go to the restroom? I need to wash my face. Dmitri nodded. For a second I hesitated, glancing at the folder at the edge of the desk. He wrote something in there, maybe something about me. Occasionally you will encounter a fork in this story. The path you take will depend on either your accumulated adaptability or whether the voice of God or the whisper of the devils is stronger. Okay, high adaptability, that's good. I deliberately brushed against the folder with my hand to knock it over. Sheets of white paper scattered across the floor, and I scrambled to pick them up one after another. There was information about the base collapse, strange printouts about demons, something about cults, and so on. I started to think I was mistaken when the sheet farthest from me caught my eye. A line was crossed out. She set up the collapse and was hiding all this time. Next came the entry. Motives? And the note. She's in shock. Something else is going on here. As soon as I reached for it, however, a shoe blocked my hand. Slowly raising my head, I met the general's withering gaze. I'll pick the rest up myself. The general nodded to a soldier who appeared at the entrance. The newcomer took me by the arm and unceremoniously led me to the restroom. Who is this? Closing the door behind me, I was finally able to breathe. Fortunately, all the stalls were empty. There is a window. It looks pretty low. The room was drafty. Cold seeped inside from the window frame and into the warm air. Frost covered the edges of the mirrors, wraithing them in intricate frames. The door handle turned, and a tall woman with glasses entered. She smelled of crisp winter air. Oh, I love her. The sunbeam slowly glided across her streaked profile, reflecting off her glasses, and then disappeared with a flash. Once again, the restroom was plunged into darkness. Leaning back against the cracked tiles, the stranger silently crossed her arms and stared at me. They didn't want to leave me unguarded. Sorry. I quickly glanced at the door. Don't you dare! If they don't even trust me to go to the restroom by myself, then what's next? There's nothing stopping them from locking me up. My clothes fit you pretty well, lucky. I nodded silently. Melting snow dripped rhythmically. The sound echoed off the walls. I leaned on the sink and looked at my reflection in the mirror. The dry tear tracks and the absent, empty gaze on my face looked unnaturally foreboding. With a sigh, I turned the faucet, but nothing came out. Instead, a spider slowly crawled out of the drain. It moved along the sink with long black legs like sharpened needles. I'm so scared of spiders. The boiler is only connected to the first tap, but don't use it too much. Water is scarce here. She hung her red jacket on one of the doors and locked herself in one of the stalls. Oh my god. Through the steam, something sparkled. In an empty soap dish lay a silver cross. Of course we will take it. A new piece of jewelry has been added to your wardrobe. So what should I do? Live with them? Or should I run away and try to figure out what's going on myself? Relying on stranger is risky. I need to get out. I looked over at the dark corner where the stranger was. A heavy atmosphere spread out from it, filling the entire room. I won't get another chance like this. The running water drowned out all other sounds. My steps were silent. After carefully going through the woman's jacket, I found an empty notebook and put it in my pocket. Then I took off my belt and wrapped it around the handles of the neighboring stalls, blocking her exit. Hopefully she doesn't start trying to break out too soon. My breathing quickened from the adrenaline. With fingers stiff from the cold, I tried to open the frozen window as quietly as possible. Finally, the frame gave way, and an icy gust of wind blew at me. It's too cold. Pushing off from the floor, I climbed through the window and stood on the stone edge. Bad idea. Mm-hmm. A gust of wind nearly knocked me off my feet. I'm 2 floors up, but it feels like at least 10. I closed the window behind me and jumped onto the roof of the next building. Behind it were the high domes of a small church. I'll try to find the cemetery. Unless the general was lying, there should be a memorial there. Climbing along the tiny ledges, I reached the enormous golden dome and hid behind it. I glanced down. A view of the city's main square opened up below me. Framed by simple box-like buildings, the slide encompassed the entire lives of the locals, fitting everything into its meager territory. Several luxurious buildings stood out from the rest, their elegance and flashiness flecked with snow. The other buildings weren't especially unique, but their gloomy mysteriousness was intriguing in its own way. I don't see any military around. If I'm right, the cemetery is behind the houses across the street. We just need to blend in with the crowd and get there. The small shadows below me moved in air around and crowed. The city lived and pressed no matter what. From my hiding place behind the dome, I heard the sound of a window cracking open. I need to hurry. The ice that covered the ledge had begun to melt from my height of my palms. My hands slipped and I lost my support. My hair flew around in the wind. The snowflakes froze in midair before rushing in the opposite direction. I fell. Bro! Oh my god. I heard the sound of fluttering wings and a faint jangling, like the ringing of bells. Opening my eyes, I saw him again. Snowflakes fell from the clear sky and scattered on the marble feathers of the angel. The whiteness was blinding. I didn't know you were immortal as well. Kind caught me mid-fall and set me down with ease. His hand remained on my waist, keeping me close. Was it all for nothing? He won't let me go. Slap him, of course. Focusing all my strength, I backhanded Kind across the face. Pale skin bloomed red. My knuckles stung painfully. He touched his bleeding lip, confused. A red drop slid down. Oh my gosh, she's so strong or what? Kind is interested in you. I rushed to the square, pushing aside people in my path. I tried to blend into the crowd as I made my way further. My breathing unsteady, I eventually stopped and looked back at the church. The dog. Oh, so sweet. Nobody chased me. The crowd led me to the fountain of the Weeping Maiden, which stood at the center of the square. I looked back at it. I had to keep running, but something inexplicably drew me to it. Unable to turn my eyes away, I broke away from the crowd and went closer. The sculpture looked so lifelike it was eerie. Even the ordinary eyes hanging from the maiden hands looked like heavy snails. I wonder if the fountain ever worked. or if it froze over immediately. There was a blade against the maiden's chest, bearing carvings that looked like letters. I brushed off the snow and read the inscription. Cum locte mendicum ex proprius lociter. When he lies, he speaks according to his own nature. This line feels familiar, but it's incomplete. I should write it down. The cold keeps freezing the ink. Very sweet. Suddenly, the people around me stopped moving. They raised their heads and stared in the sky with glassy eyes. Flocks of birds flew over the square, seeing a white wall creeping over the horizon. Slowly it crawled closer and closer. Voice from the crowd. A storm is coming. Strong one. The animals feel it. The words pulled me away from the fountain. I hurried toward the cemetery once I got my bearings. And the maiden watched me go as if in understanding. Okay. Behind the row of houses on the square there was the large city cemetery. Massive Gothic crosses and dark tombstones protruded from the snowy ground. This garden of death was silent, lonely. Unexpectedly, I felt a slight sense of awe. I had to disturb the peace of approach, a low building located in its center. There, I touched a stone slab bearing an endless list of names. He wasn't lying. Then I walked around the memorial a few times until I found the right line. My fingers slid along the carvings letter by letter, Lane. Seeing your own name etched on a memorial stone was frightening. An unpleasant feeling came over me. I felt a splitting headache and slid down, with my back against the memorial. Facing my hands, I pulled my knees up and dejectedly rested my head on them. They're just letters. All I felt after the initial shock was numbness. Is this really happening? It's like I'm just watching everything happen from a distance. Back in the general's office, it seems my tears look the last remnants of humanity along with them. So what now? What should I do? Silently staring into the falling snow, I sat against the stone wall until a thought suddenly came to me. That pentagram from the Book of the Apocalypse. Opening the notebook, I drew the round sign from memory, though the image didn't turn out very well. Wow. Seeing this strange symbol is the last thing that I can remember. Maybe it has something to do with this whole situation. I run my fingers through hair, stretching my scalp with my nails. And the book is now buried on the ground along with the base. I hear the sound of crunching snow nearby. Someone was approaching the memorial from the other side. Holding my breath, I held my legs hard and froze, listening. Hello? I decided to stop by before leaving. We didn't even say goodbye. He misses you too, as do I. We both miss you. I don't have much time, so I can't stay long. Alright, this is for you. The voice went silent, and then the snow crunched again as the steps trailed off into the distance. After waiting a while, I carefully approached the place where the voice came from. On the steps of the memorial lay a meager bouquet. The small flowers were sewn from scraps of fabric and tucked into dry, gnarled twigs. There is a piece of paper inside. Okay, leave it. A cold breeze briefly unfolded the note, and I only managed to catch a glimpse of a signature from Anna. If what they say happened at the base is true, maybe it would have been worse listening to the general. Suddenly, a cold sensation surrounded my wrist, and there was a disconnecting clank of rusty metal. Handcuffs? I should have guessed that you would come here. The wind picked up. A gust lifted the bouquet, but I caught it in time and returned it to its place. Thank you. Anna is grateful to you. Did you lose someone in Siberia? Yes, my father. Anna fastened the other cuff to her own wrist, clinging us together. Because of you, we had to delay. She came right up to me and spoke through clenched teeth. Do you even know how valuable hot water is here? You're very lucky we're leaving today. Let her be angry. At least she doesn't hide what she's thinking. That's safer than the demons other people hide behind their blank faces. She roughly pulled the chain toward herself. Let's go. It gets dark early here. After a few minutes of walking, we were completely surrounded by the blinding, unpenetrable snowstorm. It enveloped the city. The rows of crosses that were useful landmarks disappeared from view. Hurry up, they're waiting for us. We'll take a shortcut through here. The road felt endless. It soon became clear that we were lost, and as the blizzard intensified, it became impossible to find our way. Damn it, the radio shut off. These damn cold drains the battery in second. Anna strumped and fell. The handcuffs dragged me right after her. Girls! After tumbling several feet along with the slope, we collapsed into the snow. She shook herself off, checking her clothes. Seems we're at the monastery. She rose and pulled me along with her. Strange, the locals didn't talk about this place. Maybe it's just abandoned. Anna entered the passage and quickly looked around. Most likely. Okay, we need to get out of here. A large wall of snow fell from above, blocking her exit and planting the chain to the ground, pinning. What should I do? Call out to Anna? Hey, are you alright? Yes, you? I think so. Help me clear out the snow. I need to get out. It's very dark here. I looked around. In the evening, the blizzard was a particular cause for concern. With such low visibility, everyone had to be on guard. After freeing my hand, I pulled out the cross I had found earlier and stuck the long hand into the lock. The rusty handcuffs gave away, and I slipped free. I could escape, but running around alone in this weather would be a bad idea. Well, if I had to do this by myself, it will take longer. With a heavy sigh, I glanced dejectedly at the white wall that separated us. My hands hurt from the cold, yet I had no choice but to dig into the snow until a hole formed, big enough for Anna to pass through safely. Seeing the state of my hands, she turned her thoughtful gaze to me but didn't ask about it. Anna is grateful that you didn't leave her. Night shrouded the sky. Anna was right. It got dark quickly here. The blizzard picked up in intensity. The wind whipped my hair, stretched my skin, and pelted me from all sides. We need to find a way back to the city. How? We can barely see because of all the snow. Then we looked at each other in surprise. There was music playing somewhere in the distance. Let's go quickly. Next to the monastery, a dark, empty church was bursting with the sounds of an organ. In the low light, its player was hidden from view. The room filled with heavy sounds, soulful notes that made my heart skip a beat. Faint and moonlight streamed in through the long windows, working relentlessly to dispel the darkness inside, and I walked ahead and followed. His thin fingers slid over the keys, and occasionally his foot pressed down on the pedals, beating out the rhythm. Of course, listen. The beauty of the moment mesmerized me. The coordination in his movements was hypnotizing. The angel's wings trembled as his body moved with the melody. Then he went still. Sensing us, he turned his head almost imperceptibly. I jerked my eyes away, pretending to look around the church. Why are you here? Isn't it obvious? Why he became darker? Or what's going on? Because you're bad at your job. Seems like not everyone in the squad enjoys each other's companies. Dmitri said to find the girl, alive or dead. He turned his eyes to me as he spoke the last word. Then why are you just sitting here? All the pews were empty. Scattered on the floor were countless books bearing images of demons, old scriptures, dictionaries, and reference files unknown to me. We're in the middle of a snowstorm. It was easier to draw you here than to search every corner of this vast territory. And I picked up one of the books. You didn't even pack your things. He rose to his feet. He slowly approached us, his hypnotizing gaze fixed on us as he walked. Ken stopped at the edge of the balcony and looked down at us. His eyes flashed in the darkness. Dmitri won't have you back forever. He will stumble, make a mistake, and then he will need me. Meanwhile, the military gathering in the square prepared to leave. The white haze had thickened over the city as the weather became more violent. The blizzard has intensified. Still no sign of Anna and Karen. The soldier shook her head, warming her numb hands with her brace. Not good. Oh wow. Horses. With a thunderous eruption, lightning struck straight into the carousel. Okay guys, sorry for interrupting. With the thunderous eruption, lightning struck straight into the carousel. The discharge triggered the mechanism. For a second, the flash of light illuminated everything as if it were daylight, before it disappeared and left the crowd stunned. Lightning in winter? It's as if the higher powers don't want us to live in the city. Whether it is the work of the devil or the Lord himself is the question. Wow. A bright light illuminated the church. I froze. Open in front of me on the church pulpit lay the Book of the Apocalypse, and on one of the pages there was the sign I had sketched earlier. Seeing the book unlocked deeply held memories, and I thought pain suddenly filled my head. I fell to my knees, clutching my temples. Oh no, this corridor. Three years ago, Siberia base. Len had been going over the book of the apocalypse since the morning. It seems that the tom's mysterious, incomprehensible language had finally begun to make sense to her. Ossa, disperses Santinore. Our bones are scattered around the moss. Driven by adrenaline from what she might discover next, she would rather die than stop now. Darkness gathered behind her. It crept over her slowly, oozing from the corridor and enveloping the walls, the floor, the doors. Lane suddenly turned around. Staying up late again? He handed her a mug of something fragrant, but she only moved away, pulling the book with her. No matter how many nights you spend reading that, you will still go mad before you unlock even a single secret, just like everyone before you. He went into his office, not noticing that the draft had kept the door from fully closing. His mobile phone rang and Lane heard him answer. Notes of tension suddenly shook his calm tone. She listened closer. The lamp in the corridor flickered, then went out. The room became cold, dark, and unfamiliar. Lane rose from the table and quickly opened the door. No, stop. Oh no. The sound of struggle that followed his yell were silenced by a ringly shot. Siberia Military Research Base will silent forever. Thank you for watching, guys. I apologize for the extra noise and stops during the video. Keep watching, and if you like it, be sure to write it in comments. Okay, it's some error. Yes, and I wish you good luck, and I hope to see you soon.